let's talk about something we all struggle with, right? That gap between knowing exactly what you should be doing and actually, doing it. We're going to dive into a pretty powerful idea today. What if the key to getting started isn't about finding motivation, but about taking action first?
You know the feeling. You're just waiting for that magical bolt of inspiration, for that one perfect Monday morning where the fog just lifts and you're suddenly ready to change everything. We keep telling ourselves, I'll start tomorrow, or next week, or, when things just calm down a bit. But what if that perfect day is a total myth?
So why do we get so stuck in this waiting game? Well, it usually boils down to a huge misunderstanding of how motivation even works. So let's kick things off by busting the great motivation myth.
We've all bought into this fantasy, haven't we? That one day, motivation is just going to strike like lightning. And so we put our goals, our lives, on hold, waiting for the conditions to be just right. But here's the tough truth. That day almost never comes.
So if you feel stuck, I really want you to hear this. It is not a character flaw. You are not lazy. You're just operating with a broken model, a model our culture sold us that says you have to wait for a feeling before you're allowed to act.
Okay, so if that old model is totally broken, what's the fix? Well, it's time to flip the whole formula on its head. This is the counterintuitive but very real truth about how you build actual momentum.
Okay, this is the big aha moment right here. On the left, that's the broken model we all try to follow. Wait to feel clear, which will hopefully lead to motivation, and then we'll finally take action. But the real model, the one that works, it flips it completely. You start with action, even a tiny action. That action creates a little bit of clarity, which in turn generates real, authentic motivation.
And look, this isn't just some feel-good idea. This is grounded in some serious research. We're talking about leading experts in behavioral science, guys like B.J. Fogg at Stanford, and the authors behind massive bestsellers you've probably heard of, like The Power of Habit and Atomic Habits. They all point to this exact same principle.
You just can't sit around and think your way into momentum. It's not a state of mind you can wish for. It's the physical result of taking that first, tiny, probably imperfect step. You literally have to act your way into it.
So, understanding the theory is great and all, but putting it into practice, that's what really counts. So let's build you a super simple action plan. We're going to break down 2 easy strategies you can start using like today to get that momentum going. But first, why is this so hard? Well, honestly, it's because the truth is often way too simple, and that makes us uncomfortable. So instead of just doing the small, hard thing, like putting on running shoes or opening a blank page, we buy courses, we watch more videos, we make these elaborate plans. We overcomplicate everything because it gives us the illusion of progress while we're avoiding the actual work.
All right, strategy number 1 is all about changing your focus. Stop chasing a feeling, motivation, and start honoring a core value. So instead of asking, how do I get motivated, try asking, what's one small thing I can do that aligns with the person I want to be? See? Suddenly, the action is about your identity, not just a to-do list.
And look how simple this can be. If you value growth, forget about reading 50 books this year. Just read for 10 minutes, today. If you value your health, don't worry about the marathon. Just go for a walk around the block. The action itself is tiny, but because it's tied to your values, it has real meaning.
Okay, our second strategy is this really powerful technique called habit stacking. The whole idea is to piggyback a new behavior you want to start onto an automatic one you already do without thinking. This way, you don't need willpower, because the old habit automatically triggers the new one. It's a game changer.
So here's how it works, step by step. First, pick something you already do every day, like making your morning coffee. Second, you anchor your tiny new action to it. For instance, after I press start on the coffee maker, I will write 1 sentence. Then you just repeat it every day. The coffee becomes the cue, and the new action feels almost effortless.
And that brings us to the real payoff here, the big one. This whole approach, it's not just about getting more stuff done. It's about fundamentally changing how you see yourself. These small actions, they're the building blocks of a brand new identity.
Just think about the compounding effect for a second. On day 1, walking around the block feels like nothing, totally insignificant. But by day 30, it's a routine, and by day 90, it's no longer just something you do, it's part of who you are. You've become a person who moves their body every day. That right there, that's the identity shift.
This is the huge internal change that happens.
You stop thinking of yourself as someone who is trying to get in shape. Through these tiny, consistent actions, you simply become someone who does. You become a doer.
And guess what? That discipline and clarity we were all waiting for at the beginning, they don't just show up out of nowhere. We create them. They are the natural result of this new identity you've built, one small action at a time. The action comes first, and the motivated mindset follows.
So let's just bring it all home with the one core message of this entire explainer. Stop treating motivation like it's the cause, like it's the spark. You need to see it for what it really is. It's the effect. It's the reward. It's the byproduct you earn by taking action.
So please, let go of that fantasy that you're going to have this one big, dramatic Hollywood montage transformation. Real change, real progress, it isn't built in a lightning strike. It's built quietly, consistently in all those little unglamorous 5-minute chunks of action that you take day in and day out.
And that brings us right to the end with one last question just for you. Don't even think about next week or next month. Think about right now. What is one tiny, almost laughably small action you can take today that aligns with the person you actually want to become?